you want to know my opinion and what I think, just keep on watching. What's good? It's your girl Nisi here, and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be reacting to the crazy TikTok trend where people are considering to get into a new relationship, but then they think about it and they remember how the last relationship had them looking. So I've actually done I did my 2 cents. I've done it on TikTok, and then I've put it on my YouTube shorts. It's not come up the best because I forgot about the format. It's different over here. But yeah, like, it's one of those videos, I don't know if I should laugh or cry because, yo, listen, I'm going through it right now in my relationship. And when I say I was scrolling through TikTok and people were giving me life, it's one of those, if you don't laugh, you'll cry and have a mental breakdown and things like that. But yeah, if you've not checked out my previous video, please do check it out. It's about this so-called husband who's a doctor, and he tried to unalive his wife on holiday on her birthday. The picture's there. I will link it at the end of this video. But again, he's a demon. A lot of these men out here be demons, and people are just showing like, yeah, I was in love at one point and then that man, you know, destroyed my world, and now this is how I'm out here looking like. So yeah, let's get into some of these reactions. No. All right, so sadly I can't play the sound because obviously I don't want to get striked. But guys, did you see that last clip of the woman with the Bible? Now with this is what I hate with TikTok. You don't know what's genuine, and you don't know when people are doing the most. Obviously, the more dramatic it is, the more you're gonna trend. My one, I'll put my little snippet there just in case you've not seen it. I had people messaging me like, oh my gosh, I hope you're okay, and I'm just like, that was literally my morning face. That's how I was looking this morning. I didn't have the best night's sleep. I was up from like 6 o'clock this morning. Don't know why. I didn't have the school run, but yeah. But yeah, like I said, I've been watching these videos from last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do it. Like, I'm going through it, so I want to, you know, jump on the bandwagon. Please tell me why someone who follows me on TikTok has sent this video to my ex, and then he's popped up and he's like, nah, just moaning, and it's just like, why so serious? He's one of my like favorite DC characters. If you don't know, I'm talking about the Joker from Batman. But it's all like, even though there's some truth to it, it's all fun and games. Like, that's how I see TikTok. Like, why so serious? I actually need to put that in my caption. Like, it's only TikTok. Like, chill the fuck out. Obviously with YouTube, I know with TikTok you can make money, but I take YouTube more seriously. I only post I pretty much post on TikTok when things are trending. So again, this is trending, so I did my little snippet. But yeah, that last clip where the woman had the Holy Bible and, you know, tears and stuff, God forbid that I'm ever like that. I know with some people it is hard to get over a person or stop loving them. Sometimes you're under spiritual attack. So even that, like, you know, soul ties, there's things like that. There's always like other things. It's not always in your face. There's a lot of stuff happening behind, and you do need protection, and you do need to be cleansed, and you do need to fast, pray, just literally keep on praying. But yeah, God forbid that will ever be me. And for the young girls that have not had their serious relationship and things like that, focus on you. The advice I would give is focus on you. You have to be quite selfish. I feel like with my partner, I helped him so much, and now he's like, I won't say blown, but now he's in a better circumstance. He's kind of just like, you know what I mean, pushed me to the side or not considering my feelings. So yeah, communication, relationship communication is key. I would give advice to, but yeah, you have to be quite selfish. I know obviously you give yourself, you know what I mean, that's meant to be your partner. You open up yourself, but I feel like you kind of go wrong with that. I feel like that's where I went wrong in my relationship, and that's why that picture I put in the middle of mine is don't neglect yourself. You know what I mean? Don't forget about your own feelings and neglect yourself. Because at the end of the day, when they move on, all you've got is yourself. Like in this world, all you can do is rely on yourself. You never let yourself down in it. So yeah, that was the advice I would give. And obviously I've got one daughter, so eventually when she gets older, I'm gonna have to have the talk, you know, the red flags, what to look out for. But yeah, but not the Holy Bible. Like, that's what I mean. Some of them are funny, and then some of them it's like, nah.
These men will have you looking like a whole man. When I'm thinking I'm ready for a new relationship and I remember what my ex had me looking, that trend should not be a thing if you center yourself. No one should have that much power on your well-being to the extent that you start looking like that. Nobody. The moment someone starts to deteriorate your appearance, you need to get rid of them. You need to get rid of them. It doesn't matter whether it's a partner, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's your work environment. You need to get yourself out of that. You need to get yourself out of that. Women need to start centering themselves. You need to start centering yourself. Center yourself. This is the whole point of the real talk. Women are the greatest thing to ever happen to us. You need to center yourself. Listen to that real talk. Wire your brain to center yourself. Because if you don't learn to center yourself, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to continue repeating the cycle. New relationship, look crazy, get out of it, rejuvenate. New relationship, look crazy, get out of it, rejuvenate. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Listen to that real talk.
Whew, those brows were a lot. I was just looking at her brows, but yeah, she told some good like facts. Like, it's true. Why are you out here looking like a man, like a whole man? Because when he first got with you, he was not looking like that, and it's so true. I hear what she's saying, but I feel like the way she was coming down and preaching is easier said than done. Like, when you're grieving or you're heartbroken, like there's nothing you can do. All you can do is cry and let it out, you know, like flush it out. But she's just like, you know, you're better than this, you know, we're the most like best thing on God's earth. I know that's right, us women, like, you know what I mean? Like, the population couldn't continue if it wasn't for us, you know what I'm saying? It's a man's world, but it's nothing without a woman. But yeah, I hear what she's saying, but again, let's keep it real. When you're going through it, you don't decide to look that way. And for example, I want to use Wendy Williams. So if you don't know who Wendy Williams is, she was a big radio hostess back in the 90s and the 2000s. And then eventually later on in like the 2010s, I want to say, she got her own TV show in America, and it was called The Wendy Williams Show. She used to do like hot topics, you know. She basically, what is it? She basically walks so people like me, black people on YouTube, can give commentary. That's basically like what she does. She talks about like hot topics, celebrity gossip. She did talk about some like real life events, but not too much. It was kind of like fun and play. So from when she was with her husband from like back in like the struggle days, you know, in the 90s when she was on the radio station. He was also her business partner. Well, obviously, you know, more exposure, more money becomes, you know. So her husband was feeling himself. He ended up having a side chick. And Wendy knew about the side chick. So she just allowed it. Some women do that, especially when you've been married a long time. It's like, okay, he's going to do what he's going to do. Wendy's had loads of miscarriages, and she only has one child with her husband. So keep that in mind. So with this side chick, she got pregnant, and then allegedly she aborted it because Wendy was like, this ain't happening, and he didn't want any more kids. Then she got pregnant again, and the side chick was like, I'm not getting rid of it this time. So Wendy divorced him, and she cut him from her show. But before that, He went to the court. Obviously, in America, whoever's the bigger breadwinner, you've got to pay like spousal support and things like that. So Wendy was actually paying for his lifestyle with his side chick. He left, like, him and Wendy divorced, and then he moved on with his side chick, and they got a nice house. He's always dripping in designer. I'm not gonna post him because he ain't worth it. I'll post pictures of Wendy, but I just want you to see the difference. Like, do you think she chose to look like that? So this woman saying, oh, don't let no man have you looking like a man or make you look crazy out here. And I'm like, yeah, it's easier said than done. Wendy, I don't even know what to say. She's looking a lot better, but now she's under one of those conservative ships where she hasn't got access to her money. She can't just go out when she wants to. Like, she's constantly being trapped. She's in some weird apartment. It's like not a psych ward, but it's like a place where people are under, you know what I mean? They're kind of like under oath, like they're being watched constantly. She can't just get up and go to the shop like I can. It's hard to explain, and Britney Spears was under something similar. And people are saying Kanye West needs to get under like one of those things. I'll put it here because I can't remember the name right now. But yeah, Wendy, it's heartbreaking to see her. It's kind of like a fall from grace because, you know, she was that babe, like people, like she had big celebrities on her show. It was the #1 show at the moment. Obviously, I know there's like the Jennifer Hudson show, the Sherry Shepherd. There's a lot of shows that's come after her. But from the 90s, Wendy was the #1. She was always dropping the hot tea. You know, she was always saying things that people didn't like. So a lot of people wanted to fight her and stuff. She's a Cancer just like me. She's always like crying and she's always like, ooh. Yeah, she's a Cancer like me. But yeah, we wish Wendy the best. You know, she's had substance abuse before. She's lost her mother in recent years. She was really close. So I feel like with her demise, it was just back to back. So her mum passed away first, and then she was getting divorced, and then she lost her show eventually because she took so much time off work. They had to cancel her show. Obviously, she's tried to come back, do a little YouTube thing, but it's just not the same. Like, you don't go from being primetime TV in America to now you're on YouTube. Because, you know what I mean? That's her coming down a level. Like, nothing's wrong with YouTube, but she was up there. That's just like me being on BBC. BBC is a big channel in the UK. I go from being on BBC and now I'm on YouTube. It's like, But yeah, there's loads of celebrities that have been through it. You know, there's Mary J. Blige. She still looks good, but there was a time where she was out here looking a little bit crazy, you know what I mean? And I think it's harder for celebrities because they're celebrities and they're constantly, like, in the limelight. With Mary J. Blige, it looks like she wants to retire, but she can't. She's another one. She's still paying her ex money. Again, she's the bigger breadwinner. So she has to keep touring and she has to, you know what I mean? She was in the spin-off of Power. You know what I mean? Like, the woman's in her 50s. I'm sure she would like to take it more easy, relax more. You know, she's still dropping albums and it's just like, you know, she's doing collabs, you know. She's got boots out. I think it's like Giuseppe Boots. I'll try and like put a picture. So Mary's still doing the thing. Like, she's still getting her money, but every month she's got to give my man a check. There's Keisha Cole, another singer. She's a hopeless romantic. I don't think she's paying any of her exes, but again, she's with this like young guy. I think he's like a 23-year-old, and Keisha Cole's in her 40s. And it's just like, we want better for you, sis. But this is what I mean. Guys will do this to you. Like with Keisha Cole, her first husband, he was a basketball player. I think he was an NBA player. And before he got with her, you know when they do those interviews, like, who would be your ideal girl? And he was like, Keisha Cole. Got Keisha Cole, married Keisha Cole. And guess what he did later on in life, guys? Cheated on her multiple times. They've had a child together, but you know, they've gone their separate ways. But yeah, it's just like, especially when you're a hopeless romantic, it's sad. Like, if you can make it work, obviously, because we have Ashanti and Nelly. They went out with each other from way back in the day, then they rekindled, now they have a baby together, now they're married. You know what I mean? I feel like if it's meant to be, it will come together even though you've been, because I know there's some couples that have been through it and then they work it out and then they live the rest of their lives together. Nene Leakes from Atlanta Housewife, she's another one. She's been with her husband Greg, rest in peace. He sadly passed now, so the late Greg. She was with him from like back in the day. She had a child from a previous relationship. And then just out of nowhere, then they had a child together. And then just out of nowhere, they got divorced. they were beefing, and then they came back together, they remarried, and then sadly he got cancer. He fought his first round with cancer, and then sadly the second time it came back, he died. But yeah, like, we love Greg, rest in peace to him. But again, if it's meant to be and if it's meant to work out, it will work out. But what that woman said, I agree to an extent. It's easier said than done. I guess she's giving that tough anti-love, like, you know what I mean, when you want to just shake someone like, you don't need him, you're this, like, you could do better. But yeah, easier said than done. I'll leave it there. Similar to mine at the beach. Yeah, hers was similar to mine. There's nothing better than being cute and on the beach, but yeah, how she was looking in that second clip. Go onto my YouTube shorts and watch my recent shorts and you'll get the sound. It's that psycho sound. I can't play it because I don't want to get striked, but yeah, it matches it. And I feel like I said, I didn't know if some of these were real, but a lot of them, I feel like they're real. Like, everyone's got that one picture or that memory when they had that breakup. You know what I mean? You've saved that for a reason, so you make sure you never end up in that situation ever again. There's one woman that took a picture and took videos on purpose how she was looking, and she looks at it and it's her motivation to never be in that position ever again in life. And I'm like, damn, I know that's right.
And let me tell y'all something. That trend, the how my ex had me looking trend, I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. That is so fucking true, because a lot of these men are takers. And when I say takers, the takers of your fucking soul. Like, I remember hearing Karamo on his talk show saying that if you give a man your last, he will take it. Don't be surprised. Like, to see these women, some of these women look like men. Some of these women they are swollen and puffy. And let me tell y'all, I was one of those women. I looked like shit. And I had lost weight. I was super, super thin at one point. I wasn't eating. I looked horrible because someone was draining the ever living life out of me. I had no, and you know what's so crazy? I was talking to somebody this weekend and they said, but you know what? You were going through all of that shit silently and you still graduated from college. And I said, yeah, twice. I was going through the worst. That man still talks about, oh, she not attractive. Yeah, you know what? I could agree with you then. Because I looked like shit. That man took every ounce of whatever it is that I had in me away from me. And a man will do that to you. A man will do that to you. Especially a man that literally is set out to ruin you. Especially the ones that say things like, when I get with women, I break them. But why? Why? Because women set out to get into a relationship with a man to love them. And you want to break me. Why is that? You know why? And I've said this before. Because they need for you to forget who you are so they can get away with the shit that they're going to be pulling over your eyes while they're in that relationship with you. Right? If you have no self-esteem and no self-confidence, why would it matter who they cheated with? Why would you say anything? You'd stay because they're convincing you that you deserve just what it is that you're going through. And that is a lie. So don't let these pieces of shit sell you that. That is a lie. I can't tell you how I have never felt better after leaving that horrible relationship. And yet, he's still trying to convince others that I was the one with the problem. But we're thriving over here, honey.
Oh, she touched on so many topics. I felt like she was talking to me personally. Like, whew, where do I start? Well, first of all, what she said at the end, like, we're good over here, okay? We're thriving over here. Don't worry about us. I don't get when people break up with other people and they're still, like, stalking them, you know, like, on their social medias or just doing weird stuff. Shout out to the YouTuber, the British girl, Diana. She's going through it with her ex-husband. And can you imagine, her ex-husband has remarried, had 2 kids, and he's still obsessed with her and stalking her, and he won't give back her things. He didn't want to give her a divorce. he only got, she had to do the divorce because his new girl wanted to get married, you know what I mean? Oh wow, it really scares me when people like it's giving obsessed. It's the obsession for me. But yeah, I'll put a picture of Diana. I love her. Again, her content's been getting me through as well. And just the stuff, the red flags and what to look out for. But yeah, like she said, with like she lost a lot of weight and she wasn't looking the best. Hello. And thank you to the people that watched that shorts I did the other day about just say hi. The comments in that video was so lovely and it was uplifting. You know what? With YouTube, or social media, when you leave comments, you don't know what that's actually really deep down inside doing to a person. You don't know if it's good or bad. You know, some people are trolls, we know this, so they just leave like nasty comments and keep it moving. If you don't know with social media or cyberbullying, a lot of people have like unalived themselves. So just be more cautious when you are leaving a comment. But thank you to everyone that left a comment on that video. Like, I was showing my mom, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? I'm going through hard times now, but I already knew what people were saying in the comments. But you know, when you just need to hear it, you know what I mean? It's like doing quotes and what do they call it? Not manifestations. My mind's gone blank, but you know, when you just affirmations, you know, when you just need it, like, I know I'm cute, like, you know what I mean? I don't need a guy to tell me, but yeah, that video, and in that video when it was like spread love, like that's me, that's my personality. I'm a Cancer, I'm a summer babe, but I love, you know, love, light. I just want the best for people. I don't get why these men, not all men, but some of these men are demons out here and are trying to ruin people. Like she said, some guys get with women and like, I will break you. Like, and I've heard it as well. Like, them proper like toxic men. They say it as a joke, but they're like, no, they're being serious. They're gonna end your life. Like, they wanna strip everything away from you. And I know this video was meant to be, you know, a couple of laughs and whatnot and reacting, but now it's gone. Because I just feel like everything she was saying, she was preaching. I love that she graduated twice, even though she was going through what she was going through. I didn't like that she didn't share what she was going through with anyone. What I'm going through, I'm currently having therapy. I'm sharing it with my therapist. I'm also sharing it with another close friend of mine because she's been through something similar. So she, you know, she gets it. But yeah, try and find at least that one person that you can share. Don't have it all bottled up inside because then that will lead to a breakdown. You know what I mean? Forget the medication and popping pills. Most of the time, you just need someone to just rant, talk to, dance it off, go for a run in the park, start a TikTok or a YouTube, you know, just do something or take up like sewing, crochet, like we're all talented in it. Maybe start painting, you know what I mean? Do something. Definitely do that spring cleaning. Spring is here, the sun is out. But yeah, don't let them get you down for too long. Are you gonna be down for a bit? Of course, you're human. You know what I mean? Like that woman says she lost weight. You know, she was just in the dumps, but she still graduated. Shout out to God. Therefore pray. I don't know if you believe in God or not, but therefore pray that he gets you through this because again, just the Wendy Williams, like for some people it ends really bad. And some people sadly unalive themselves. People think, oh yeah, I'm just breaking this woman's heart or I'm just cheating on her, but she'll get over it. And it's like, no, some people, my neighbor, when I used to live with my mum, she, you know, one night she went out with a boyfriend, she came back and yeah, she unalived herself. Obviously, I don't know the content behind it, what actually happened, but you know, I mean, I have a feeling that he probably ended their relationship and she just. There's another boy that I knew, he unalived himself. Well, he unalived his girlfriend first, well, his ex, then he took his own life. So as much as we're laughing and joking and, you know, banter, there's some truth to this. So if you are going through anything or having any like thoughts, please reach out and speak to someone. Again, with my videos, I like to spread awareness. Like we can have a good time and have fun and, you know, talk about celebrities and da 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 da. But things like this do have real life consequences. So yeah. You know what? Guys, can someone tell me why sis ended up in a jail cell? And it's not even like your normal jail cell, it's the one where you can only speak through the phone. That's usually when you've unalived someone, right? We don't have that really. We don't really have that here in the UK, which is crazy. Like, yeah, you can unalive someone and you literally could just walk around in the prison. But I know in America, when you're behind the glass screen and you have to talk through, is really bad. And this is what I'm saying. Some of them look made up, but I was just like, nah, you can't make that up. Ooh, you never know. She could have unalived the guy that was cheating on her or beating on her. Like, you just never know. She's number one. Like, nothing can top that. Like, she's number one. It's bad.
People want to be in healthy relationships, but you don't understand that in a healthy relationship, you have to war yourself. Like, I am constantly fighting against me. I used to think, oh, when I get into a relationship, oh, it's going to be hard because of him. It's hard because I'm constantly trying to tell me to keep my mouth shut. I'm constantly trying to tell me to fix my face. I'm constantly trying to tell me not to do certain things, not to speak in a certain tone. You really have a mirror held up to you of your bad behavior when you have a healthy partner. You really have to fight against yourself. And I'm not going to lie, for the right person, I will fight against myself every day, but nobody tells you how hard and uncomfortable it is. From when I met my boyfriend, even just the way I speak, my tone of voice, I've had to change so badly because he's not having it. The way I used to speak to men before was absolutely disgusting. I don't know how the hell y'all let me get away with that. But over here, they said no. And I had to decide whether or not I still wanted to continue with it. So I was like, right, so either you leave this behavior behind or you go back to being single. And I chose to stay in this relationship. So when I tell you guys, healthy relationships are not easy because you really have to look at yourself and you have to change the things that do not work because people are not going to accept that when they are healthy.
Oh my gosh, she made some really good points. Yeah. So if you are, or when you are getting into your next relationship, you literally just like a blank page in a book. You're starting again. Do not bring anything from that last relationship that almost destroyed you into your new one. Have an open mind. Don't be like, but like she said, her mouth, like you have to watch yourself, especially black women. Like, let's call a spade a spade. We can gather you up real quick. And even me, like, I'm a nice person overall, I would say, but I do have a nasty side. And this reminds me of Jeannie Mai. She ain't black, but she had to check herself when she got with Jeezy. So, quick backstory in Jeannie Mai. She was a TV host on the show The Real, and again, that was on an American TV show. She had a white husband, and she said she never wants kids. They broke up because he just wasn't agreeing. She got with the rapper Jeezy. He's obviously black. They got married. They had a child. This is all in the span of like 2 years. So it's like back to back. They got married, then boom, she was pregnant. Remember what I said at the beginning? She didn't want to have kids. She's had kids now, well, the child. And Jeezy's divorced her. And he's not just divorced her, he's put it out on the internet. So she found out when I found out, when we found out. And it's just like, So obviously people are clowning her, especially her ex, because she used to throw a lot of shade on him. Jeannie and Jeezy, they were doing up couple goals, like they look cute in their matching outfits and, you know, being on the like double bike. But yeah, like he made her a baby mom and now she's a divorcee twice. Like it's bad enough because I know she comes from like a strict Asian like background. It's bad enough when you get divorced anyway, but twice, and now you're a single mother. Like I know she's his ex-wife, but he's just made you a baby mother, and it's just like. And can you imagine, from the beginning, she never wanted kids, and now I need to do a video on that because there's a lot more women coming out saying, I never wanted kids. This guy gave me, you know, 1 to 2 kids, and then he just upped and left. You know, he changed his mind. He's like, actually, I don't want to be a dad, and he just upped and left. And it's like, wow. When I say these men are demons. So now she didn't want to have kids and now she's a single mom, and just being a single parent, it's a lot just for a normal, you know what I mean, a normal child, a normal day. Like, but the fact that initially you never wanted kids, it's like, wow. And it makes you think, if you never had kids, would you have made it? Even though he was like, I want to have a child, it's just like, maybe you just gotta swing. One thing I'll say, especially to you young girls, never change your mind. If you want to go to uni, go to uni. if you don't want kids, don't have kids. Like, never change your mind because your husband wants, like, oh, I think it'd be a good idea if we did. No. Stand 10 toes down, stand on business. Nah, I'm not doing it. Like, you knew it from the jump. Vice versa, if a woman says to a man at the beginning, if he says, I don't want kids, don't marry that man and then be like, actually, I want a kid. Don't do that. I hate people that do that because you knew it from the jump. Now, if he didn't tell you and then he married you, then he's like, I don't want, that's different. But when someone tells you something from the jump, believe them, leave them. Don't try and mind manipulate them and change their mind, you know. But yeah, I agree with what she said. I know I'm going a bit off topic, but yeah, I agree with what she says. Like, she had to check herself, or the guy checked her first, and then she was like, And then she's like, am I going to take that, or am I going to be single again? And again, I feel like that's why there's quite a lot of bitter single women, because when the guy tries to check them, they're like, you can't talk to me like that. You know what I mean? But sometimes, you know what I mean, it literally was for the best. Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to him, he spoke on this a lot. Even when he would tell these women to be going back and forth with him, and he's like, it's my YouTube channel. You know, he would just shut them down. He'd be like, it's my YouTube channel. He'd tell them to be quiet. Now, his deliverance could have been a lot better, but yeah, he used to shut them down and be like, I'm not doing the back and forth video. I agree with it. Like, it's childish. And I seen a recent Pop the Balloon, shout out to that host. They've got a special with Netflix, shout out to her. But a guy came on and he's like, I don't like girls that do the extraness, you know, the back and forth, all up in your face, you know what I mean? And I don't blame him, because it's like, what are we doing? He's like, when we're in an argument, I want to speak about it, not shout. I want us to sort it out straight away. That's another one. With me, I kind of go cold turkey. Like, I need my space. Don't need too long, but you know when you just need to get your thoughts together. But yeah, again, I agree with everything she said. Like, in relationships, especially when you're going into your new one, you need to think, like, something's got to give, because you just keep being in bad relationship. You know, sometimes it's not always the men, vice versa. Sometimes it's not always the women. Sometimes it's just the way you are, you know, your communication, your deliverance. Are you loving too much? Are you loving enough? You know what I mean? No one's perfect. There's no, like, manual. We're all just trying to figure out life in it. But I liked her response. Like, she made some really good points. Keep going. No. No. Guys. See, I took that one personally because I've lost a lot of weight with all my stress. But no, I had to go through the comments. I'm gonna put them here. How could someone say it looks like he was in a relationship with Ozempic? And this is what I'm saying. Obviously, there's loads of effects, but I was just like, this can't be real. This can't be real. But yeah, a lot of people, you know, they don't eat or they overeat, you know what I mean? As you've seen in some of the clips, some of them are just like, they're cute and slim at the beginning, and then they just put so much weight on. And you know what's wicked is, well, they love that. You know, when they move on and then they see you, they're like, oh, look at her, she's gained so much weight now. Like me the other day, I was doing a TikTok and I didn't like it because I just look too skinny. I know skinny's back in, you know, with the whole Pretty Little Things rebranding, and, you know, the Kardashians, you know, all the influencers, they've all gone skinny now. You know, they've all removed the fillers, the BBLs, but I preferred the whole slim, thick, or being chubby. Like, even Lizzo looks amazing now, but nah, she looks amazing. I'm not going to say how she looked before. No, she looks amazing now. But you see that slim thick, like, she's not mad skinny. She's still got that slim thick. But yeah, that clip was crazy. Okay guys, that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you've gone through a recent breakup or even one from the past, how did you deal with it? Like, what's your advice for someone that's currently going through it or been through it, you know what I mean? And would you ever go back with an ex? You know, with what I'm going through now, I think of Summer Walker, that man's an ex for a reason, you know what I mean? Like, but again, I do get it. Again, Nelly and Ashante, if it's meant to be, it will be, you know what I mean? But yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.